Oh, right, we're going to do our story for the day. And today, mixed up again, I'm going to do a different one from our Around the World in 80 Tales book. And this one is a story from the Sioux of the Dakota Plains. Now, Dakota is an area in North America, in the USA. And the Sioux are a tribe of Native Americans. They were people who were living in America much before the British and people went over to America. Okay, and they had lots and lots of tales. They're an old tribe of people and had lots and lots of traditional tales of their own. And this one is called The Three Spells. The Three Spells. A brave buffalo hunter named Odakota fell in love with Arwe, a beautiful maiden. "Will you marry me?" he asked. Arwe shook her head sadly. "Alas, I am the only family my grandmother has left. She will never let me get married." "I will talk to her," said Odakota. Arwe's eyes filled with tears. "She knows many powerful magic spells. If she found out about us, she might put a horrible spell on you." "Then let us run away tonight," said Odakota. "We'll go somewhere that your grandmother can never reach us." And late that night, Arwe crept out of her grandmother's lodge in the dark, clutching a bag with her favourite belongings in it. Odakota helped her onto his horse, and they stole away across the plains. They hadn't gone very far when Arwe looked behind her and over her shoulder. "I fear my grandmother has realised I'm gone. She's following us." "She's too old to catch up with us," Odakota said, laughing. "Don't worry, we can outrun her." "She might be ancient," Arwe replied, "but she has magic boots that make her faster than the wind in a storm. I think I can hear her coming." The moon came out, and sure enough, there was Granny, stomping across the plains behind them in her magic boots. And as they listened, they could hear her calling, "Arwe! Arwe! Don't run away from me!" "Now what do we do?" gasped Odakota, getting worried. "She's gaining on us." Arwe had learned some spells from her grandmother over the years, and she took off one of her mittens and threw it to the ground. The mitten changed at once into a crazed buffalo, with pointed horns and swishing tail, and seeing Granny, it pawed at the ground and began to charge at her. "Ha! That will stop poor Granny in her tracks," Odakota said with a laugh. But only a short while later, they heard the dreaded voice again, coming from behind them. "Arwe! Arwe! Don't run away from me!" Granny had turned the buffalo into an ant, and now she was catching up with them again. "It's time to use my second spell," said Arwe. She took a comb from her hair and tossed it into the wind. Instantly the comb turned into a forest, thick with trees and bushes. "She won't be able to follow us now," Odakota said with a laugh. I think she might." But as the sun rose in the sky, the two of them could see Granny fighting her way out of the forest. She struggled through the bushes, cutting the trees down with her walking stick. "Arwe! Arwe! Don't run away from me!" "Quickly, Arwe!" Odakota said. "We need another spell." And Arwe took an awl, a large needle, from her sleeve and threw it over her shoulder. Instantly the awl turned into a range of mountains with jagged peaks and snowy slopes. "That must put a stop to her," Odakota said with a laugh. But once again he was wrong. As the sun dipped in the sky, they felt the ground shake, and Granny's voice echoed across the plains once again, closer than before. "Arwe! Arwe! Don't run away from me!" By now, the runaways had come to a river. There was no bridge, and Granny was catching up to them fast. They were trapped. "What are we going to do?" cried Arwe. "I've run out of spells." Odakota turned to some cranes that had settled on the bank to drink. "Help us across, my friends, and we shall praise your names forever." The cranes were pleased by the respectful way the hunter had addressed them. They joined up, neck to tail, so that they formed a bridge across the river. Arwe and Odakota hurried across, leaving the horse behind. He would have been far too heavy for the cranes to carry. When they were safely on the other side, they turned to see Granny on the opposite bank at the water's edge. "Help me across," she ordered the cranes, "or I'll change you all into lumps of dead wood." The cranes ruffled their feathers and squawked angrily at the old lady's rudeness. But even so, they joined up again to form a bridge. Granny stomped across on their backs, but when she was only halfway across the river, they suddenly spread their wings and flew away. Granny fell into the water, and with a sizzle and a scream, she melted away to nothing. At last, Arwe was free to marry her beloved Odakota. So there, I like to think there's a message at the end of that one, that actually, if you speak to people respectfully, they're more likely to help you. Granny there was very rude to those cranes, so they tricked her. They formed that bridge, but then they flew away when she was halfway across. A really nice story, that. And again, lots of these stories have messages within them about how we should maybe treat other people, or how we treat our friends, okay, and doing good deeds for others. Okay, really important messages at the moment. Okay, a really nice story. I hope you enjoyed that, and I'll maybe read another one before too long. Okay, take care, have a good weekend, and I'll see you all soon.